Hello, and we say a great day to each and every one of you. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we speak on behalf of a galactic alliance of many different beings throughout this galaxy supporting your planet in a process that you may call ascension. It is an evolution at a planetary level of the consciousness of individuals coming together and coming closer to the vibration of the one source or creator, however you term that. It is a gift and it is an honor and a pleasure to be able to establish contact with you in this way. For when we exchange between our worlds, there is a tremendous inflow of information and energy between our respective realities that allows us both to grow. So we grow and learn through this experience in the same way that we hope that you do. And for this, we extend our gratitude to you. So we come with hopes of supporting your world through the great process of transition that you are within now. There are many changes taking place very rapidly in your world. And some of you may wonder, is this something to fear? Is this something to fear? Because fear is a message that is so commonly shared in your world. It is an energy with which you receive all information, in a way. You are manipulated subliminally with hidden keys and tricks that hook you into fear unconsciously and use your fear to convince you to buy this, do that, think this. And the time of this is coming to an end for those of you who would choose that, because your planet is upon the precipice of a great shift. And that is why you're seeing so many different kinds of experiences take place at this time. So the opposite of fear is love. It is not anything other than love. And love is not just something you feel when you are attracted to another person or you have formed a bond with them. Love is the very nature of this universe and of the reality that you inhabit. And this is why when you feel great degrees of love, you experience a genuine multidimensional transmission of energy. When you do something that you love long enough, you lose track of time and space. It seems as if everything is flowing perfectly and naturally. It seems as if you remember something outside of what you experienced in this incarnation. Talents awaken within you. You may know this experience when you've lost yourself doing something that you love. It feels as if the world around you simultaneously fades away, yet also your sense of who you are expands. Some of you may not have fully grasped this, but you may have also experienced this through your love of another being. It is an overwhelming experience that brings you to feel an expanded sense of your own self. This love is the nature of this reality. And when you experience more love, you come into closer contact with the one source or the creator. It is not the sort of creator that has been imagined by so many of your texts in this world. It is a creative consciousness that exists within all beings. And by raising your frequency, by simply doing what you love, you come closer to that one source. This frequency of love connects things. It brings everything together. It is a holistic experience. When you love someone, you feel deeply connected with them. When you do what you love, it creates ripples of connection that bring many other people together and brings together the many different aspects of your life. versus fear divides. Fear separates. And you must recognize that it's only recently in your world that you've actually got beyond so many different fears. Fears of people because they are different races. Fears of people because they are a different gender. Actually, you may recognize that you have made progress, but there's still a long way to go. Though, if you look at your recent past, you see how ugly this fear can be and how it can literally hurt you if you don't pay close attention and see beyond this illusion of difference. Distinction is innate, that every one being that is incarnate into this reality is unlike any other being that exists. But difference is really an illusion, because there's one fundamental law, there's many other laws, but the most fundamental law is that all is one. And this is why when you see some event happening across the world that evokes great pain or great love, you can feel that emotion flooding to you from so far away. Everything is made up of the same field of energy. And what happens to one being is happening to every being on some level. So love is this remembrance that you are part of that same field of reality. And when you do what you love, you allow for that energy to ripple out, supporting many others in having the same opportunity to raise their frequency in love and dissolve the illusion of difference. You are all one thing. You are all one planet, and this universe is one universe. And that isn't why we are interested in your world, and why when you started to develop certain destructive powers, like atom bombs, there were many very interested in your world, because when you have great destructive power, that power not only affects your planet, but it affects the rest of the galaxy. And so you're becoming incredibly more powerful as a species. And now one thing that is very interesting is how you are developing so many of these new technologies that are intelligent, and some of you are fearing this. Some of you are getting manipulated by your news to fear the other beings visiting your world like ourselves. And we have more things to say about this if you would tune into our other messages, but today we will only say that the fear is an illusion. And if you continue to let them play with your fears and continue to believe the internalized voice of fear that exists within you, you will not only rob yourself of opportunity, it will wear away at your health, it will wear away at your relationships, and it will wear away at your financial life as well. This frequency of love is holistic, and it brings everything together. When you spend time in this frequency of love, your body adapts to it. Because you are beings of cycles, you only repeat the patterns that you've played out before. So it's never just, I'm giving myself this one chance to do this one thing. Every time you say, this is what I'm doing, you're inviting that same behavior to repeat again. You can't get out of the loop of repetition in your world. It's impossible, because you're beings of cycles. So whatever you're feeling right now, you're inviting more of it into your life. When you do things that make you feel contracted and make you feel afraid, you're inviting more of that fear in your life. And you can say, yes, I know that this job makes me feel terrible and like total shit, but I'm going to get a great paycheck. And many people have already experienced, they do this for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and then they have that great paycheck, but until they die, they still feel like shit, because that's what they chose to do. So you have to expand your awareness of frequency and understand that this is the only moment that fundamentally matters. If what you're doing now doesn't bring you to feel expanded and joyful, what you're doing is not the best thing you could do. So allow yourself to understand that your reality is fundamentally emotional in its nature. And when you choose to listen to the emotions within you and let them guide you to whatever brings you to feel the most love out of all of the potential choices. That energy will perpetuate itself naturally if you can follow the next 3 steps in this formula. Mostly we've been speaking now about the first step in this formula we shared to you, that is, act upon your highest love, also described as passion or excitement. The next step is do it to the best of your ability. That is self-explanatory. There's details, but we won't speak about them now. The final is let go of your insistence on every particular outcome. Let go of your attachment to your expectations. Because in this holistic universe, the frequency of love will naturally bring in more things that resonate with that frequency. Some of you may have heard of a law of attraction. It works through this. It's really a law of vibration and resonance, but attraction is a great way of putting it for some of you. Now, when you have insistence or attachment to the outcome, it's diminishing all of that vibration of love and reverting it back into fear. This happens because you've been conditioned or you've developed beliefs that cause you to fear and try to grasp so tightly to what you think you need, rather than allow the universe to bring you what you actually need. The idea here is that when you let go, you allow yourself to relax, and then you open your mind to different possibilities. A simple way of explaining this to you is you've all experienced moments in which you've been looking for the glasses that were already on your head, or the keys that were in your hand, or the thing that was in your pocket. Because when you get so attached and fixated on what you think you have to do, you totally lose awareness of what needs to happen and what doesn't. Now, this plays out in a much bigger sense in your lives as well. When you're so fixated on a particular goal that you don't immerse yourself deeply in the love and joy of the present moment that is a healing vibration and does ripple out to affect everything else in your life. So when you act upon your highest love to the best of your ability without insisting on a particular outcome, the holistic universe will work through you to bring you the things that truly represent your needs and your love, and allow you to maintain that high frequency state. And as you do that, because you are one with the world around you, the other beings that are just mirror reflections of you will start to do the same thing and experience the same thing. And this is how your world will change and is changing. There are many different changes taking place, and we've spoken a lot about them in other transmissions, but today we will leave it up to you and your questions to elaborate upon whichever aspects of our message seem exciting and relevant to you. You can ask any question. It can be personal, it can be not personal, it can be somewhat personal, it can be about your planet or our planet or anything at all. Any question, desire, musing, sharing is all welcome for us, and you may begin whenever you wish.